In today's show, we're going to look at the strongest cards that we do not play in our deck for one reason or another. And please do tell us all your reasons. I'm going to start off with my own personal one, Time Twister. I do not play with this card, despite how powerful and I think this card is sort of fun. You sort of more or less reset everybody's hand, and everyone gets a new full grip of cards. There are two problems, though. I am a Merfolk deck, and it is not necessarily beneficial that I refill everybody's hand. But the second reason, which I think a lot of people can resonate with, is this thing is like thousands of dollars, and I just strictly don't own it. And personally, for me, I'm not against proxies, but I love playing with the real cards. I love all my cards to be real. That's all. And I don't want to proxy the thing. I could proxy it. It's no problem. Just to take a random blue card, right? Time Twister. I don't want to do it. But anyway, those are my reasons. What does anyone else play? And what are your reasons? I really like this one coming from, let's see, it was from John. I cut Tabernacle from my deck. Tabernacle was of the Pendril Vale. No, Tabernacle. Oh, it's the Tabernacle. You know, it's so hard for me to find Tabernacle on Scryfall for many reasons. Oh, we don't have music. Let's get some music here. Start this show off with a bang. There we go. Bang it is. So the Tabernacle of Pendril Vale, one of the most frustrating lands of all time, because all creatures have at the beginning of your upkeep, sack this creature unless you pay 1. So I cut Tabernacle from my bracket 3 deck. Is this the what do they classify Tabernacle as? I have absolutely no idea. Due to unfun play patterns and some negative reactions to me owning the card. Oh, people are giving you the old evil eye, huh? I guess, you know, some of the more expensive, like, not all the best cards are expensive. There's some really powerful, strong cards that are very, very cheap. There are some people who are very, very offended that you've got, like, the pay-to-win sort of type of deck. Oh, the only reason we're losing is because you've got this, like, $3,000 piece of cardboard, which you might have bought for, like, $300 10 years ago. Okay, next up, if you give me a card, you have to give me a reason, because we need the story behind it. It's all about the story. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff around it. I don't own a Time Twister, no. That's why I don't play with it. Partially. But like I could proxy the thing, right? I could proxy it, but I want to play with the real cards. I like playing with the real cards. Let's see. If a card goes in your sideboard, does that count as no? It's like you made a conscious decision not to play with a good card. That's basically what the show is about. I want to hear some stuff. Underground Sea, because I'm poor and I don't want to proxy OG duels. So, okay, so on very similar reason as me. Underground Sea. So what do you play with instead? You just play with shock lands and enter the battlefield tapped lands, which by most means doesn't actually change the power level of at least most commander decks. It would just change significantly the power level of your legacy deck, if that is true. Mercenary, contract from below, the most powerful card draw card no one remembers. Well, because they're strictly illegal. Look, this show is about cards you could play, but there is a reason you don't. And maybe I should have eliminated. Yeah, I know I gave like a slight financial reason to mine, but I also gave a strategic reason. I play Merfolk, and as fun as that Time Twister is, it'll probably burn me more than it burns my opponents. Tolarian Academy. I have 100 of them, and they're all banned. I don't have 100 of them, but you know, I'm sort of in the spot of, oh, guy. I mean, I understand Tolarian Academy is way more powerful than Gaia's Cradle, but I wish it was still legal in Commander anyway, just for the fun of it. Okay, here's something much more to this. Here we go. Capsize. This is a little bit more to the tune of the show. Now, Capsize is a 3-mana instant with a buyback of 3. Return target permanent to its owner's hand. So if you got 6 mana, you can repeatedly bounce stuff back to your opponent's hand. The buyback makes this card kind of cheesy, in my opinion. Did you get, like, some bad looks whenever people are like, I just played my card, you capsized it back to my hand? How dare you? I spent good mana on that card. So Christopher B is like, isn't going to do onto others. Don't do onto others that you wouldn't want to be done to you. I'm most definitely Botch that saying. What is it? Don't do unto others something. Don't do unto others what you don't want others to do unto you. Say that 5 times fast. Icecrown Scepter, Imprint. You can exile. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile an instant card to convert mana cost 2 or less from your hand and pay 2 tap. You may copy the exiled card. If you do, you may copy the card. So you just hate. So Christopher B is very big into hating the painful utility of it. Just repeatedly being able to counter something over and over and over again. That's how I would use it. You better believe that's how I'd like to use it. Okay, next up we have Hexenort with the terminus of return. I'd love to play with it. Standard are just too fast. Through the Omen Pass. So this was a Spider-Man card. Oh, it's a Soul Stone. I don't get it. You can play with it, or you just not. I'd love to play with it. Standard are just too. Oh, you mean like what? The rotation is too quick, so you're not willing to buy the Soul Stone because you know it'll be worth. Probably not worthless. Probably there's a lot of Commander players that like this card. Okay, we got a big super chat from Trent Sims. Thank you so much for your super chat. I decided to cut Expropriate from one deck I had in it before. It became a game changer because I could see the pain in my opponent's faces every time I cast it. And it felt like easy mode. Man, these are the types of cards I live for when I play competitive Magic. I like seeing the pain from my opponent's side. Because once I'm done with that opponent, I'll probably never see them again. Okay, so Expropriate, Council's Dilemma, starting with you. Each player votes for time or money. And yeah, no matter what they do, if they choose time, you get an extra turn. If they choose money, you get one of their permanents. Then you exile Expropriate. Very strong, very super strong card. With this, and you over contributed. We can always donate another super chat to somebody else. No, I mean standard. Oh, it's too fast for the mana rock. Okay, let's go back to the Terminus Rune, which is just the Soul Stone. So you're just talking about like the format is just too fast. You got like turn 3, turn 4 combo decks out there, and if you're not up against a combo deck, you're also. I can totally see it. You're up against mono red on the draw. Okay, they've put like a bunch of prowess creatures in play. You slap down the Soul Stone, and then you could be dead next turn. You're just dead. Yeah, I forgot. Some of you you're huge fans of Standard. Also huge fans of Alchemy. We got Merciless. I'm going to give you half the super chat that was given by Trent Sims. Cyclonic Rift. I shouldn't have to. These are really, like, for the most, like, common cards. You all know what Cyclonic Rift is. Oh, I love this art. It's my favorite art. I got to change my Cyclonic Rift to that Cyclonic Rift. Okay, if 4 got cast, that would be terrible in Commander. What do you mean if 4 of them got cast? Oh, you're talking about like for each person? So what, if 3 is okay if you just don't include yourself? To be honest, you're a control player and you feast on the misery of others. Someone's got to do it. It's an intellectual pursuit, everyone. It's an intellectual pursuit. Argentina, Ruination. Because symmetrical is not very symmetrical. Oh, destroy all non-basic lands. Oh, well, it would appear that my deck doesn't have a whole lot of non-basic lands. Maybe I've ruined your party after all. Look, Mom, I only have basics, or mostly basics. Yeah, it's not so symmetrical if you build around it. Oh boy, with Insurrection in EDH, because I find one of the most anticlimactic win cons, especially if it's almost the only thing you do in a game besides land drops and ramp. That would suck. What is this? Sorcery for 1 billion mana, untap all creatures and gain control of them until end of turn. They gain haste until end of turn. Yeah, I could totally see that. You just like do nothing, get to 8 mana. Boom! Insurrection. Take everybody else's creatures, kill them with their own creatures. Pretty sad. But that's what they made the card for. Your opponents have to kill their own creatures to stay alive. Kevin, you got to give us your reason why you don't like Hull. It's all about the story today. Benjamin Berkey with Skull Clamp. A huge favor of a lot. What is with that art? That's no Skull Clamp that I know. Oh, this is a better art. I like this one. Ooh, that's so cool. For the Final Fantasy crowd out there. Okay, I used to run Skull Clamp in my old token-generating elf deck, but I decided to remove it because I was afraid of decking myself out. These are, well, you know, you don't have to equip. You don't have to equip Benjamin Burke. You know, it's optional. You can just, like, you can slow down in a combination. I didn't even think about Skull Clamp in an elf deck. That actually sounds genius. There's a lot of elves that just make elf tokens, so you can just keep that chain running. Works perfectly. Not to mention the elves make a lot of mana to keep casting those cards that you keep drawing. Okay, Kevin with a Hullbreaker Horror. Because it is so hard to get rid of and combos with Soul Ring and a ham sandwich. What? Because it is so hard to get rid of and combos. Oh, combos with Soul Ring? Turn target spell you don't control to its owner's hand. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. I don't get how it's a combo with Soul Ring. You mean just ramping it out? Of all cards, I find Hullbreaker Horror looks very fair at 7 mana. It's like a big, clunky counterspell, sort of. Whenever you cast a spell, choose one. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Oh, because you can bounce it back? Choose up. Whenever you cast a spell. Oh, okay, I see. Next, let's get... Yeah, when you cast a spell, return Soul Ring. Oh! Wait, like, but something else, right? So you tap the Soul Ring. Oh, so it's like an infinite mana generator. Okay, cool. Indiana Jones says, nice, Argentina. My brother used to own one back in the mid-90s. Candelabra of Thanos. I don't even know how to use this card in today. Because I own it and I'm afraid of being mugged. So, 1 mana artifact, X tap, untap X target lands. What is this card even used for now? Isn't it even any good? It's like this, you know, Candelabra Thanos is one of these cards that seems... It looks like it has a super powerful effect. It's on the reserve list, and it's super cheap. But I just don't even know what it's good for anymore. To untap your Gaia's Cradle seems unnecessary. It's good in a Tolarian Academy deck, but Tolarian Academy is banned. Straight up banned. Oh, bounce mana rocks to create infinite mana. I didn't think about that with the Hullbreaker Horror. It's still a grand card for as long as it is used in combo decks. It's fun with High Tide or anything that makes you tap for extra mana. It needs to be like a lot of mana, though. It's a ton of mana. It's a cube card for Tolarian Academy. Yeah, oh yeah, okay. You know, I didn't think about that. You know, people want to build cubes. They want to own the real cards. Or even when they don't want to own the real cards, they want to proxy the card. Yeah, okay. I see the value in this in a cube versus like in a constructed deck. Cube is fun. Green John says if you're playing green, Magus of Candelabra is better as you can turn it into a land and untap itself repeatedly. Okay. Gotcha. Jesus, if you have a card you want to mention, you have to mention why you're not playing it. Kano, Thoracle. You just don't want to be that guy, huh? Oops. Thassa's Oracle. Because everyone and their mothers are doing it already. So you want to be original. Oh, you don't want to be that lame person to win with Thassa's Oracle. Do you play with the Laboratory Maniac? Do you play with Jace? I think that's the Jace that if you were to draw a card and there's no cards left in your deck, you win the game. It's got that clause. That's Oracle. Pfft, that's out of style. You're not fashionable if you're playing with Thassa's Oracle. Okay, we're going to take a look at more of the best cards, the strongest cards that you don't play with, but we're going to thank our sponsor today, FusionGamingOnline.com. Perhaps one day you might want to play those strong cards. I'll let you know where you can get them from. You get them from FusionGamingOnline.com. Or, if you don't want to play with the best card, play with number 2. That should be a show. like the replacement card that you play to cards that you actually want to play. We'll do that sometime. But until then, use coupon code Nikachu at checkout to get 5% off everything at checkout. And it also supports the channel, which is also the most important of important things. Next, let's get to... Who do we have next here? We have Super Chats from John. Null Rod! Oh, because it's so frustrating. Of course, nobody likes to see Null Rod. Too funny, but too mean simultaneously. I was up against a deck once who they had no artifacts in their deck. Their ramp was pure creatures, and they ran Null Rod. And holy crap, it was good. It was strong. Good stuff. Jess actually says, I quit playing Chandra's Ignition. Because everyone would get mad. One card would give me the game. Chandra's Ignition is a 5-mana sorcery. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each other creature and each opponent. What were you doing? Targeting like an Emrakul that you buffed up to 40 power or something? This looks like, you know, if your friends lost to this card, I mean, they deserve it. You obviously like set up a board where your giant creature was ready to be flung at somebody. So anyway, you deserve the victory. And with Counterspell. Is it too pure? Reason for not playing? I don't like counter magic since I feel bad when I'm getting countered. I don't want to counter others. We have another don't do unto others that you don't want others to do unto you. I think if Nikachu removed the super chat card limit on custom card days, he would need as much ad time per stream. I'm thinking about it, Toilet Duck. You know, I'm thinking about it. One day I'm just gonna have like, we'll just do a 6-hour custom stream or something. Next. Nikachu did the card limit. Yeah, I did the card limit because like the streams go beyond 3 hours even with the card limit. Okay, we have Steve Cooper, Shield Red. The Apocalypse specifically. Very rude card. I'm too stubborn to buy a real one for $100, and I've spent too much on Dominaria United to try and pull it. In conclusion, buy singles. That is, yeah. Sorry about that, Steve Cooper. I'm sort of in the boat of, I just don't buy sealed product whatsoever, unless it's for the nature of making a video or something. I'm very talented at taking like $100 worth of product and turning it into $0. I'm very, very talented at that. So anyway, if I just need the one card, then I'd rather spend, how much is this? It's like $82. I'd spend $82 on the card instead of trying to gamble for it in the box. But I'm sure a lot of people, you know, they have good experiences gambling for the box. Gambling through a box. 24-hour custom card stream for charity. My brain would melt. I'm not young enough anymore to do that. You know, if I was 10 years younger, maybe. Now my brain would just turn to goo. I wouldn't even be 6 hours in. I wouldn't even know what I'm reading at that point. Old friend with Ristic Study. Ristic Study, because do you pay the one is so annoying. Well, do you know what? I have some alternatives for you. Trigger Ristic Study. Trigger. Do you pay the trigger? Trigger. That also might get annoying for some people. But for tournament players, it's normal. Trigger this, trigger that. You gotta know what you're getting into. This is why you need, yeah, this is why you need Fusion Gaming Online. I believe it's written, do you pay the one? Yeah, the triggers are triggering. Indiana Jones says, my cousin opened a Mox Diamond from a Stronghold pack when it first got released, and my brother traded him for it less than an hour later, only worth about $20 at the time. They didn't appreciate the power. Well, I mean, $20 at the time was a long, was it at the time? from a Stronghold pack when it first got released. $20 was a lot of money back then. That was big money. $20. I feel like $20 back then, especially since I was like a broke teenager. Hold on, let's get Mox Diamond on here. How did this even come up in the conversation? $20 back then when I was like, well, I wasn't even 13 years old back then. I probably was like 8 years old or something. But that would have been like an infinite amount of money. Way more than what an $80 Shieldred even feels like right now. Okay, we have Surefire Selves with Dictate of Erebus. Dictate. From one of the Theros block packs I pulled. It's one of my least favorite cards of all time, and I refuse to run it in any of my EDH decks. It's a 5-mana enchantment. Flash. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent sacrifices a creature. Do you have a lot of sacrifice effects in your deck, Surefire Selves? And I refuse to run. It's your. Oh, so wait, you don't even like playing against it? You don't like playing against it, so therefore you're not going to play with it. Next. Bryce says, I cut Chromatic Orrery. Chromatic Orrery from my from Joda, because once I flipped into I had enough mana. Huh? 7-mana legendary artifact. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color. Tap for 5 mana, 5 colorless. Pay 5, tap, draw a card for each color among perms you control. Actually, I'm not familiar with the Joda deck, so I'm guessing you just like sort of luck out for a. You just get an easy win with this Chromatic Orrery. Dictate and Grave Pacts are very annoying to deal with in EDH. That's the whole point of EDH. These are like cards that affect everybody. You know, in a lot of ways, Magic the Gathering was originally designed to be a multiplayer game. They didn't say like target player for a reason, or target opponent, or each opponent, each player. When it says each opponent, how many opponents do they think you have? At least more than one. The cards know that this is a multiplayer game. They're like, why are we playing 60 card formats all the time? This is ridiculous. Adeptus, Blood for the Blood God, because it is hearsay. Makes me wonder, Adeptus. Is Blood for the Blood? It's a 40k card. So, like, what did you replace it with? Because this came from the 40k deck. Oh, I guess you could replace it with a land or something, you know? Blood for the Blood God, 11 mana! For an instant, the spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature that died this turn. Discard your hand, then draw 8 cards. Blood for the Blood God, exclamation point. Deals 8 damage to each opponent. Exile Blood for the Blood God. Okay, we got Equine Duckling says, no, they definitely said your opponent in the earlier cards. Multiplayer coded cards didn't appear until quite a bit later. Okay, I'm going to take your word for it. So until then, they just said each player. Dustin Newbie, Amulet of Vigor. Do you happen to play Modern at all? I hate this card. Just lets me know I'm playing a solitaire player. So I assume you play a little bit of Modern. Just a little bit of Modern. Can we get Amulet of Vigor on the screen here? Is Amulet of Vigor a big... I would imagine it's a decently big commander card, given there are so many fun cards that come into play tapped, just to balance those cards out. But then you can unbalance them by playing the Amulet. If the permanent enters the battlefield tapped, it comes into play untapped. Oh, I got that comment. Thank you very much, Equine Duckling. I really appreciate it. I appreciate fact checkers in chat. Do companions count? They are in the sideboard, not the deck. No, we're talking about cards you could consciously put in your deck, but you choose not to. And they don't even need, honestly, they don't even need to be strong cards. They could just be cards. Cards you think are strong. The Queen says, okay, I was sort of wrong. The first each opponent was in Legends. I appreciate the fact checkers fact-checking themselves as well. I've big appreciation. It's good. It's a good world we live in. Amulet of Vigor is also big in the Gates deck in EDH. I didn't even know there was a Gates deck. Amulet sees a good amount of play in lands decks. A lot of lands that come into play tapped. Blessing with ooh, that's a spicy one. Expedition map. You don't want to play with what? You just don't want to shuffle? I run it in my Brawl deck strictly for Strip Mine, but then Strip Mine got banned. Oh, so you just don't play this card anymore. You know, there's actually a fair bit of cards that people just opt to not play with because they it would force them to shuffle their deck. I believe it was Sam Black that proposed banning shuffling. Like, you can't shuffle, like, or sorry, maybe not shuffling, sorry, banning searching your deck, because searching your deck, like, wastes a lot of time and also creates, like, the, what's it called, the consistency. Like, the tutoring makes, like, Commander incredibly consistent, and if you exclude the searching of decks, then games are more varied and more interesting. Why you know have map subtype, huh? Next we've got... Jess says, I always wonder why 49 people out of 22.2 thousand come to watch. Imagine if they all showed up and gave $10 super chat. Well, I would love that. But the reason is a lot of them are here for different reasons. Like, they might be interested in, like, they might be only interested in combos or custom cards or AI or like one reason or another. But they're only here for one reason. They don't care about the other ones. Also, I changed the time up so many times. We used to get, like, regularly 400 people. It's not 51. Like, you guys rotate. You come and go. So, like, per show, there might be, like 800. I'm sure there's some of you, I get your card, and then you leave. You're gonna leave, Amphidiaz, Ugin, Eye of Storms. Needs more Tron-like cards to use it. I have two, but I am an elf guy on Magic the Gathering Arena. When I cast it, opponents concede. You play this in elves? I guess you gotta do something with that mana. This is you know what? I mean, if you have like 1,000,000 mana, this is strictly a far superior Vindicate. When you cast the spell, hold on, but this is about cards we don't play. Did you say this is a card you do play? I miss, where's that super chat? Need more Tron cards to use it. I have two, but I'm an elf guy. Oh, I see, okay. You're an elf guy, but you could use it. You already Tron. It's okay. It's all good. Next up, we got Dangerous One with a super chat. Jace the Perfected. Rotated out of standard. Oh no! Well, okay. Well, that's just a sad reason why you're not playing with the card. You gotta give us a reason, Mark Butler. The reason is the soul. Can you explain the criteria? What's the best? What are cards that you consciously do not play in your deck for one reason or another, and you have to give us the reason. What, Lutri, just because it's instant banned? It's not a very good reason. It's gotta be cards you can play, in theory. It can't be like banned cards. Hey, if you want to play with this card so bad, you can play it in Modern. You know what? It's completely welcome in Modern. Steve Cooper, just being a huge shout out to all the VOD watchers out there. We have to appreciate the people who watch the VOD. I salute all of you. Frankly, there are more people who watch the VOD than they watch live, but, you know, I appreciate but we also have to salute the people who show up live, otherwise there's no show. Leon Corgi with Tezzeret, Cruel Captain. The Captain! He's like a pirate. It's a sideboard card. Oh no, that doesn't count. You still have it in your deck. The sideboard is still part of the deck you registered. So that actually doesn't count. No, Lutri and other companions aren't in your deck. I thought the criteria... No, the criteria is... What are cards that you could play, but you consciously choose not to? For what reason or another. Janelle's here. Welcome, Janelle. What do we got here? Okay, the Ghost of Thomas Jenkins with Questing Beast. I guess the title is not so clear. It's my favorite card, but I don't play green. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so you actually really like the idea of this card. Oh, it makes me wonder, like, what are cards I always wanted to play, but I'm so pigeonholed in blue? Questing Beast. It's a Swiss Army knife for 4 mana. This doesn't even look like a real card to me. It looks unreal. This has custom Magic the Gathering card written all over it. Look, it's got 4 paragraphs, for crying out loud. 4 paragraphs! We got Freddy Skywalker with Mishra's Workshop. In Commander, it could slot in basically every deck, but so expensive. You know what? I like first picked this card in Cube so many times, and it's so unbelievably hard to use that I actually came around to believing that it's grossly overrated. It needs to be in like a very, very specific deck. Like, you need a lot of artifacts, because remember, you can only add 3 mana to be spent on specifically and only artifact spells. If it's not an artifact spell, you can't use it to cast Consecrated Sphinx or Hullbreaker Horror. They ain't artifacts. I guess you got to play maybe Mycosynth Lattice first, and then they are artifacts. Okay, we're going to look at more cards that you'd love to play, but you can't. But maybe you can when you rent with Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards on Magic Online. If you're held back by price because some cards are too expensive, well, that doesn't matter when you're renting the cards for a monthly fee at Mana Traders when you're playing on Magic Online, my favorite digital client to play Magic Online. The name describes itself. You can rent using and support the channel using my coupon code Nikachu __ 58V for 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription. And let's get back to our wonderful broken cards. Actually, not all the cards need to be broken. They can just be good. Good, but you choose not to play it. Kono, have you been on the show? Emrakul, because it's just a ridiculous card. It's also banned in Commander. I don't know if that matters for you. Scryfall is choking right now. Come on, don't choke on me, Scryfall. I donated to you, Scryfall. Scryfall needs to take in more donations to get faster server. But yeah, Emrakul, 1515, giant spaghetti monster. I like it. I think this card is so cool. I really don't. Even when people cheat in play, I just can't feel bad, even when I lose to it. You got to give a reason, Magnum Opus Gold. If you don't give a reason, we ain't looking at it. Mark Butler has a reason for everlasting torment, as it is a hindrance to me as well. So not worth playing. So you like the card, but you know it screws you over too. 3 mana enchantment. Players can't gain life. Damage can't be prevented, and all damage is dealt as though its source had wither. This is the first person like, I love this card, but you know what? It would wreck me too. We have what else? Voltland with Ouroboros. I want to say you've mentioned Ouroboros on another show. It's a staple in most standard green decks, but I run Hasty Gruel random encounter deck, so it doesn't fit very well. Let's take a look at this card when it gets here. The Ouroboros. What does that even mean? Here we go. Oh, it's the 4 mana 1/3 plant worm. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put X +1/+1 counters on each creature you control, where X is this creature's power. So you intend on winning faster than you can buff up your creatures with this thing. Next, we've got Megamika, Time Spiral. Want to use Grand Arbiter for not for T? What? Want to use Grand Arbiter. Did your sentence get cut off? Steve Cooper says, players can't gain life sucks for my deck too, because my group slug commander gains me life. Is it like, what does group slug mean? Like you just drag the game out for forever? So what does that have to do with Grand Arbiter? Time Sprawl, the 6 mana. It's basically 6 mana Time Twister, but for free. Get it for free because you untap 6 lands afterwards. I'm assuming this Grand Arbiter. White spells cost 1 less. Blue spells cost 1 less. Spells your opponents cast cost 1 more to cast. Ah, so you give everybody a bunch of cards, but they can't even play them. And then you net mana with this thing. You get it basically for free +1. It's basically ramp, Tio. So too strong. No, I want to use Grand Arbiter not for stacks and more so to keep the game more fun. Thanks for letting us know, Mega Mika. Group Slug, the opposite of Group Hug. You do anything and you... Oh, I see. You're slugging it out. Cool. Next up, we've got... who has no card? I don't use Intuition. That sounds so wrong. Will Anderson. I don't use Intuition. What would be the opposite of using Intuition? I guess running your life based on hard data. It feels a bit too strong for the blue combo decks I play. It's just a perfect fit. So you don't want to use like watered down crap, your gifts ungiven. That's basically what it is. Leon Corgi with Nicosynth Lattice. Because it makes commander players groan. Is there any... Well, why do commander players not like Nicosynth Lattice? Is it because, like, Null Rod is too popular? Is it because... Like, I actually don't know what their concern would be. Is it, like, they're afraid that you're going to come out with Karn the Great Creator? There we go. 6 mana. Everything's an artifact. Everything, all cards that aren't on the battlefield, they're now colorless, and players may spend mana as though it were mana of any color. Okay, Nicosynth Lattice is hated because it causes artifact board wipes to become Armageddon. Okay, that's fair. It tends to make lands fragile. Is that it? That's rude. So people, like, suit up Nicosynth Lattice strictly to blow up other people's lands? I understand there's like a bit of a combo between this and Collector Oof and Null Rod, and that'll screw my lands too. It screws my lands as well. If you're playing it, I feel like you're going to lock the game, but otherwise, meh. You know what? I just let everyone know, look, I'm only playing this so that my Mishra's Workshop can tap for... Oh no, it doesn't even work like that. It doesn't even turn on my Mishra's Workshop. Cards that aren't on the battlefield are colorless, but they're not artifacts. Does not even help me with my Mishra's Workshop. That's sad. When you play Lattice, people always believe you're blowing up their everything, which is 99% true. You know, I don't blame them. Okay, Anfidiaz with Crater Hoof Behemoth. That's an interesting take. You don't want to play with Crater Hoof. Is too overpowered for an elf deck. Like, how are you supposed to win the game, though? Turn 3/4 with Fierce Empath, you win. I don't play it because I want to play for more than 6 turns. Okay, you're a very honest elf player. That's, you know, I don't want to win the game too quickly. The game should actually last longer than 4 turns. We all came out here to actually experience our deck a little bit. I can respect that. There's other people that are like, well... alternatively, you can have it in your deck, but you just don't play it until, like, you have, like, a rule. I'm not playing Crater Hoof until turn 10 plus or even 14 plus. Because there's some players like, how is this game going to end? It's going to go on for forever. And you can be that person to finish the game. You can just finish the game. Which makes me wonder, like, shouldn't commander players also sometimes agree to a draw? Okay, this game is going on forever. Do you all want to draw? Okay, sure, we're going to draw. Happens in tournaments. Jeff, I used to have Enter the Infinite. Surefire Selves also says, I don't run Crater Hoof either. It homogenizes green win cons. Like, if it just tutor Crater Hoof and play it and win every turn that way, like, it's very monotone to me. I very strongly agree with you, Surefire Selves. Like, it's like a boring way to win. Yeah. But then you could say the way to solve this is you ban the tutors. That way, the only way you can win with Crater Hoof is if you top decked it or you already drew it in your hand. Are we looking up Enter the Infinite here? Don't worry, Jeff, I didn't forget about you. I used to have Enter the Infinite on my Rashmi deck to combo with Labman. I removed it. And because I rarely get the turn to have enough mana to cast it. Oh. I love this card. But you know what? I don't got 12 mana most of the time. So this card actually never got played. And if it never didn't get played, well, I'm not playing it. It's actually... This came from Gate Crash? This originally came from Gate Crash? They had a Pioneer Masters online too. This is a Gate Crash card. It's very, very weird. Such a powerful card from traditionally a pretty weak set. We got Janelle says, whenever a game goes on for too long, I only hear people say, can we agree that I'm far enough ahead that I win, rather than, okay, we all draw. Oh, I've never heard that one before. That's interesting. Because it's 2 a.m., but egos still go strong. The ego doesn't get tired. I'm so far ahead, fellas. Do we agree I win anyway? The arrogance. To be honest, we all have to appreciate the real quiet person who has, like, almost nothing in play. They could beat you out of nowhere. Can't underestimate them. Felicia, Sephiroth Fabled Soldier. I use this in an infinite loop deck, but often I got screwed over by my opponent gaining hexproof. So I replaced him by an aristocrat that says each opponent loses life. Oh, like you mean it's because this thing has a blood artist effect on it. Whenever Sephiroth enters or attacks, you may sack another creature. If you do, draw a card. So this card was the real deal. I couldn't tell if this was. It looked good. It looks sort of good. It looked like a commanderish card, but, you know, I couldn't tell how good this card actually was. Whenever another creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain a life. And if this is the 4th time this ability resolved this turn, which seems like a lot to me. It seems like it's really hard to flip this card. You get the other side with Supernova. As this creature transforms, you get an emblem with whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Whenever Sephiroth attacks me, sacrifice any number of other creatures. If you do, draw that many cards. Sephiroth is stronger than it looks. Well, he was weaker than he looked in the video game. This is a weird one. I removed Goblin Guide from Burn in Modern because it doesn't trigger when I cast spells. So also, this is another way of saying Goblin Guide might be just too weak for Modern. At the same time. Can we get Goblin Guide on? There's Goblin Guide. Classic. Super classic card. Magnum Opus Gold with Ad Nauseum. Could never find the card in local game store, so I used Necrologia instead, which was a major fail. Oh, so this was a card you had to find a budget replacement for. Reveal the top card of your library and put that card in your hand. You lose life equal to its converted mana cost. You may repeat the process any number of times. Oh, it's banned in Oathbreaker. Wait, you can't play that thing? Oh, I guess that as your oath, what is it? Your signature spell? That's probably a problem. That'd be a problem. What's the show actually about? It's strong cards that you neglect to play with for one reason or another. Let us know a card that you could be playing with, but you don't. Give us the reason why. Hollow one with Deadly Cover-Up. Deadly Cover-Up is a 5-mana... Oh, but why? So, standard is too aggressive. So for 5... So the card, unfortunately, it just sucks. 5-mana sorcery has an additional cost to cast the spell. You may collect evidence 6. Destroy all creatures. If evidence was collected, exile a card from an opponent's graveyard, then search its owner's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with that name and exile them. That player shuffles, then draws a card for each card exiled from their hand this way. We need to make Magic, particularly Standard, needs to be clunky. They should be like no turn 4 wins allowed in standard. They should make that a policy. Standard's got to get like slow. It's got to slow down. Fast is no good. Nobody likes fast in standard. In fact, I think Magic is just a worse game overall when the games are ending way too quickly. Mercenary says it was crazy to get ad nauseum for 50 cents. Was nuts compared to how much they go for now. Oh, you stocked up, did you? What else here? Fan Factor with Mind Bend? Most people don't even know what Mind Bend does. Mind Bend and change text cards because while novel are weird. Also, I don't think they're programmed on Magic Online properly, but maybe I'm wrong. It's a blue instant. Change the target of the text of target perm by replacing all instances of one word with another, or one basic land type with another. So you can change somebody's. It's like a one blue, almost like not exactly a stone rain, but you can turn someone's land into a waste by turning a one basic land type with that. So you can turn like island into plains. Now the land turns like taps for white mana instead of blue, when really they need that blue mana. They need to shrink the number of sets in standard. There's simply far too many of them. Well, they also just made so many cards that were really strong at a low mana cost. Wizards has acknowledged that the power level of cards should start at 3 mana value, at the mana value of 3. Not 1 or 2. Like, that's the brutal part. Like, if you're on the draw and your opponent plays a bomb on turn 1, bomb on turn 2, and you like missed you like had nothing to play on turn 1, you're gonna get steamrolled. You're just gonna get steamrolled. You have no chance. Fan Factor says, Nikachu, have you done a show about budget alternatives to popular constructed cards? I'm almost 100% sure that I have done that, but you know what? We can absolutely do it again. I am ready to just recycle all the old shows that we've done 4 years ago. After 4 years, we've basically done everything. Everything has been done. I'm very close. Mindbend. Can you change a card name with Mindbend, like changing Green Goblin into Red Goblin? That's a good question. Change the text of target permanent by replacing all instances of one color word with another. That's a great question. Mindbend cannot change names. Okay. I'm just going to trust Argentina there. Maybe it only applies to like the text box below the picture. I don't know. KenCon with Hymn to Turok. Great turn 1. What do you mean turn 1? This is a 2-mana card. Not great on other turns, and to increase turn 1 chance, you need more copies. Which also means you draw into more on not turn 1. But, you know, in the future, like on later turns, say 5, 6, 7, or 8, if your opponent has 1 card in hand, it's basically like Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize that is guaranteed to get rid of whatever's in their hand, whether it be land or anything. Dark Ritual and him. I guess that's the old. But then you lost 2 cards. It's a fair deal. Toilet Duck has a story. In Arena/Alchemy, you don't need to put powerful cards in your deck if you can use cards with conjure abilities to conjure them. Oh, that's the cheesy way of doing it. Those conjure cards. I used to play on Arena all the time, and then they just, like, I was playing Historic specifically, and then they made all these digital cards, and they just wrecked the experience for me. I've actually not gone back. It's too weird. Dustin Newbie. All the humanoid slivers. Oh, hold on. So they're, Megantic Sliver, I think, is one? Because I couldn't stand the way they looked. Lost their signature look. Okay, so there was, I completely know what you're talking. Yeah, this one. I think this was the start back in 2014. Like, that was like so stupid. Slivers had such a cool sort of snake, it's alien snake-like look, and then they gave them legs and arms, and this just looks like something out of Alien versus Predator. Hold on, it's like a combination of the two. The base set sliver. They're just terrible. Yeah, slivers look like Predator as one of them. I completely agree. I might be in the same boat as you if I were playing that deep into slivers. Indiana Jones. All you need is Mox, Jet, and Swamp to play your Hymn to Turok. That's right. Old Boy with a second card. Grave Pact. It is my favorite card, and I even have the OG art as a playmat, but my playgroup bullied me into rarely running it. They bullied you? It's my favorite card. Is this that strong? 4-mana enchantment. That's $30. It's been reprinted a million times, too. 4-mana enchantment. Whenever a creature you control dies, each other player sacrifices a creature. Oh, this is very similar to this other card that we saw earlier. So people are that offended to getting their creature sacrificed. I guess if you build a sacrifice deck with a bunch of tokens, they're screwed. That's their fault. They can't be a Grave Pact. That's their fault, that's a them problem. But then again, in Commander, if it's a them problem, it's probably a you problem too. Yeah, we talked about this earlier. EDH players hate these effects. And yet Wizards just keeps making them. Look, they reprinted this in Wilds of Eldraine. They're milking money off of this concept, this idea. Tresaru, Turgrid. The God of Fright because of its poor reputation. So you'd like to play this card, but the reputation precedes it. Menace, whenever an opponent sacks a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It's that bad, huh? Their pain is your gain. Oh well. No one seems to like pain in Commander. Turgrid is in the top 100 saltiest cards. Well, it doesn't sound that bad. Hey, look, it's only in the top 100. It's not in the top 10 or the top 20. Let's see. Who else do we have here? Lasting with Staff of Completion. Staff of Completion. It's complete. Completion. I keep paying 2 or 4 every turn. I realized it killed me more often than it helped. The Staff of Completion, 3-mana artifact. Tap, pay 1 life. Destroy target permanent you own. Tap, pay 2 life. Add 1 mana of any color. Tap, pay 3 life. Proliferate. Tap, pay 4 life. Draw a card. Also, pay 5 mana. Untap this artifact. It should be called the Staff of Temptation. You were so tempted to use the abilities, but it isn't best for your health, that's for sure. Expa, today is a show about cards. They're cards that you could play in your Commander deck, in any deck. I don't care about the format, but you don't for one reason or another. And generally, we're talking about strong cards, but it can be any card. So it's like a card you would generally want to play, but you don't. We have a giant Pop-Tart with Obliterate. Because of the resetting, the ultimate board wipe, but it basically restarts the game. So Wildfire, 2 thumbs up for Wildfire. Obliterate, not so 2 thumbs down. 8 mana, can't be countered. Destroy all artifacts, creatures, and lands. They can't be regenerated. But you could play this with Planeswalkers. Isn't that like a neat thing? You get like a bunch of Chandra Planeswalkers out, and then you obliterate. And then you kill them all off. Because it very specifically said artifacts, creatures, and lands. Oh, it doesn't even hit enchantments either. Let's see. Yep, you can put in an enchantment deck as well. Dark Confidant. Its power crept out of the game. Oh, you just don't play it because it's not even good anymore. 2 mana. And you know what? The arts aren't getting any better. I don't really like this art. 2 mana for a 2/1 human wizard. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. You lose life equal to its mana value. Oh, this is a Final Fantasy card. It's a Final Fantasy character. John says Root Maze. Because it's terrible if you're not on the play. Really? Is it really even that good on the play? I don't know if I know anyone that plays Root Maze. Green enchantment. Artifacts and lands come into play tapped. Oh, I see. But for Commander, yeah, if you can get it out early, I think it's still fine if you miss out on the draw. Oh no, but you want the yeah. Okay, I see. So everyone plays their artifacts on turn 1. You've like missed out on the big value. So you have like a 25% chance, even if it's in your starting hand, for it to be useful. I totally got it. Have we done an MTG show? Bad card, great art. No. You know what? We could do that one instead of great card, bad art. Some people want like, have we done a show on great card, bad art? I don't want to offend any of the artists. I would feel bad. I once ranked like a bunch of counterspell arts. I'm like, this feels a bit rude. But we could do a show, bad card, the worst cards with the great arts. I'm gonna write that down somewhere. Hell, we could do that tomorrow. When are we gonna do this? Worst Magic cards with greatest art. Cool. This sounds like a great idea. We need an artwork tier list show. No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Unless I got you guys voting on it. I mean, I could like pull out the polls. I can still poll everybody. Do I have the access to a poll right now? I do not. How about bad cards, even worse art? No! I definitely don't want to do that. Jess asked, have you ever worried about a stalker send you mail with a tracker in it and finds your home? You know, if they do that, it's not that big of a deal. You know what? Not a lot of people send me mail. I have my mailing address in the description. I get almost nothing. Just literally almost nothing. Leviathan wins hands down. Would Root Maze make a good counter to Amulet decks? Artifacts and lands come to play tapped. I don't know. I don't even know if it would affect it. Amulet decks don't care about Root Maze. Yeah, I think Amulet beats Root Maze. Transcends. I mean, as I was right now, it's nothing special. Nikachu isn't that big enough for crazy stuff like that. You know what? You would be surprised. You know, there are streamers much smaller than me that have gotten very serious stalkers. But you know what? I live in the middle of nowhere. And hell is frozen over half the year. So it's just very unlikely that you'd come and stalk me. You would get pretty tired or die halfway trying to reach my location here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Okay, we've got Indiana Jones wants... What's with this contract from below? It's just illegal. You're not the first person to suggest this. Just because it's banned everyone and no one plays anti. I don't want to say no one plays anti. There have been some people in chat over the years say they still play for anti, which I find wild as hell. Black Sorcery, discard your current hand and draw 8 new cards, adding the first drawn to your ante. Remove this card from your deck before playing if you are not playing for ante. Ante seems like such a feel-bad in today's Magic the Gathering. Ante cubes are fun once in a while. Oh, like if you beat them, you get like a card that you can add to your deck for future games. That sounds interesting. Ante is good in cube. Okay, I can see that. Played Ante once, never again. Benjamin Berkey's like, I'd play for Ante. We gotta bring Ante back. Von Ranger, you sure they didn't mean playing for Auntie? Oh, no. Maybe their aunt taught them how to play Magic. We really should... Voltlin, it says, we really should bring Ante back. At least an online client. Jeff is gonna get back onto the show, a doubling season. Because it's too pricey for a casual Commander player like me. And also, my friends say that it's overkill to put it on my Adrix and Nev deck. What the hell's a Nev deck? Not Nevinyrral's disc deck. Double your stuff, double your tokens, and also double your counters. Anti's only good in cube, but because it would attract government, did Wizards drop the ante? Yes, it would attract government. Wizards does not want to attract government. Government be bad for Wizards and bad for profits. Von Ragnar, but can you imagine anti-rules in any tournament environment? Having to update your deck list every game? No, yeah, that wouldn't work. I think it would only be a casual thing. Or it's like you can use the card during the match. Like you play one game and you can win a card from your opponent to play against them in a future game if you choose to play it. Lord Jarek says Protein Hulk. Mainly because it's too easy to insta-win with it, and I forget whenever I buy singles. You forget to buy this thing, huh? Vintage tournament with Ante in Vegas. Oh my god. I would not play. Like, you know, if I had an opportunity to play Legacy, I would not play if, like, Ante was on the line. I don't have enough gamble in me. Oh, did I spell Protein Hulk wrong? Von Ragnar's like, you know what's the funniest anti-card? Demonic Attorney. Now imagine giving it Storm. Okay, Protein Hulk. You just keep forgetting to buy this thing. When Protein Hulk dies, search your library for any number of creature cards with total mana value at 6 or less, put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Anti was fun in the Yu-Gi-Oh show. Yeah, you know what's funny? In Yu-Gi-Oh, the cartoon, they do so many things that Magic the Gathering would find supremely illegal or get you banned. Like, they've got Anti all over the damn place. There are cheaters all over the place. There's people will grab your cards and like throw them into the water. Like, they'll try to destroy your cards. What else? I mean, it's just illegalities all over, like top down in that show. Conspiracy Cracker says, hold tight, Nikachu. I'll ship you some fun art altar cards and tokens. All right. I'll be glad to see them. There's a lot of literal death games in Yu-Gi-Oh anime. Well, that's any cartoon show. Okay, do we have any other cards? You're having a 59 card deck after losing and get disqualified. No, that's an advantage. No, you have to use it. You have to replace the card with a card in your sideboard. In a 60 card format, I shouldn't say you have to have a 15 card sideboard, but you better have at least a 1 card sideboard to compensate for the first game that you lose. What else are we missing? Trent Sims with Cathar's Crusade. Mercenary on the topic of Yu-Gi-Oh! That is why Kazuki created Yu-Gi-Oh! The way it was when no one else had such work out there. Cathar's Crusade, isn't this just an anthem? 5 mana enchantment. Whenever a creature you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Yeah, it's like something like an anthem. So it is a card I cut from my token deck because, my god, I keep track of all the tokens and counts became a nightmare. So you don't like the maths. It was a maths card. And you know maths. You don't math around here. So screw it. What else do we have here? Let's see if we can get one more card. Is there anything else? Christopher B has a... Oh, hold on. Ken Khan has... Show idea. Best sideboard cards. I guarantee you it's a dead show because Commander slot players don't know what a sideboard is. Well, some people who don't play... Or sorry, I think a lot of Commander players there have overlap with like Arena, and Arena has sideboard cards. What was this Christopher B want? Glissa. Whoops. Glissa. The traitor. Too hard to have seen this happen to her. Huh? Too hard. Oh, I see. Glissa the traitor. Did she get Phyrexianized? 3 mana for a 3/3 zombie elf. First strike, death touch. Whenever a creature an opponent controls is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you may return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. Excellent. All right, that's it. That's it for today's show. Oh, she got Phyrexianized. It's over. Sorry, Glissa. You got glistened. Von Ragnar says, okay, since we've been talking more about it than the topic of the show, new idea. What if Anti was still legal in Magic? Oh, that is... that is not a... I don't know what would happen. What would happen? Yeah, we could have prediction markets in Magic the Gathering. It basically, like, it's somehow Magic the Gathering gets regulated in a completely new frontier, becomes 18 plus only. Or I don't know what I don't actually know what how old you need to be to gamble in the United States. All right, anyway. We do these shows weekends at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. And of course, thank you so much, my coffee crew today. People like KenCon and Adaptus. We got Von Ragnar, Jeff Dustin. We got Toilet Duck, Christopher B. Jane combos you can come up with. Cards that suddenly become powerful. Well, that's like every combo show that I have on this channel. We got Mercenary, Raznab, and Fadias. We got Dan right there, and many more. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing those coffees, and we're going to keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will, of course, see you at the next cup.